$3,246. That's the average tax refund in America right now. And if you just got a check like that, you probably posted about it. Maybe bought something nice, felt like you won something. But here's what nobody's telling you. That refund isn't a bonus. It's not a gift from the government. It's your own money that you let the IRS borrow for free. For an entire year, at 0% interest. And by the end of this video, I'm going to show you the 5-minute fix that puts hundreds of dollars back in your pocket every single month instead of waiting for one big check in April. But first, we need to talk about why we keep falling for this. There's this weird cultural thing that happens every year around tax season. People post their refund amounts like it's a scoreboard, like they earned something. You'll see it all over social media. Refund secured. Tax season came through. God always provides. And I'm not trying to mock anyone here. I get it. Getting a couple $1,000s dropped in your account feels incredible, especially when you're living paycheck to paycheck like most millennials are right now. But let's break down what's actually happening. When you get a tax refund, it means one thing. You overpaid your taxes throughout the year. You gave the government more money than you owed, and they held on to it, and then they gave it back to you, without interest, without a thank you, without so much as a birthday card. Let's put some real numbers on this. Say you got that average refund of $3,246. That means you overpaid by about $270 a month, $270 that could have been in your paycheck every single month instead of sitting in some government account doing absolutely nothing for you. That's a car payment. That's groceries for 2 weeks. That's a chunk of student loans. That's investing money that could have been growing for 12 months. And that's where this gets painful. If you took that $270 a month and invested it in something basic, like an S&P 500 index fund earning the historical average of about 10% annually, do you know what happens? After 1 year, you'd have about $3,408. That's already $162 more than your refund, because your money was working for you instead of sitting in a government holding cell. But let's zoom out. After 5 years of doing this, you'd have over $21,000. After 10 years, more than $52,000. After 20 years, almost $207,000. $207,000. That's what giving the government an interest-free loan could cost you over 2 decades. Now, I know what some of you are thinking, but I like getting a big refund. It's like forced savings. I can't save money on my own. And look, I hear you. I really do. Behavioral finance actually backs this up. Humans are bad at saving. We're wired to spend what's available, so having less in each paycheck kind of works as a weird budgeting hack. But here's the problem with treating the IRS like your savings account. First, they don't pay you interest. Inflation right now is eating away at your money's purchasing power, so that $3,000 you get back in April is worth less than the $3,000 you gave them throughout the year. Second, life happens. What if your car breaks down in October and you need that money? You can't call the IRS and say, "Hey, can I get my overpayment back early?" They're going to tell you to wait until tax season like everyone else. Third, and this one hurts. A lot of people treat tax refunds like free money and blow it. Studies show that tax refund season drives spikes in spending on electronics, clothes, vacations, and stuff that doesn't build wealth, because it feels like a windfall instead of what it actually is, your own hard-earned income. All right, so now you understand the trap. Let's talk about the fix. And I promised you 5 minutes, so let's get to it. Step 1. You need to adjust your W-4. The W-4 is that form you filled out when you started your job, probably on your first day when you were overwhelmed and just signed whatever they put in front of you. That form tells your employer how much tax to withhold from each paycheck. If you're getting a huge refund every year, your W-4 is probably set up to withhold too much. The good news is you can update it anytime. You don't have to wait for a new job or a new year. Here's what to do. Get your most recent pay stub and your last tax return. Go to the IRS Tax Withholding Estimator. It's free, it's on the IRS website, and it actually works pretty well. Enter your info. It'll tell you what you should be withholding. Then, go to your HR department or your employer's payroll portal and submit a new W-4. The whole process takes about 5 minutes, maybe 10 if you're slow at typing. Step 2. This is the critical part, the part most people skip. When you adjust your withholding and your paycheck goes up by $200, $300, $400 a month, you need to tell that money where to go before it disappears. Set up an automatic transfer. The same day you get paid, move that extra money somewhere useful. A high-yield savings account, an investment account, extra payments on your debt, somewhere that it works for you instead of vanishing into lifestyle creep. Because here's the reality. If you just adjust your W-4 and don't redirect that money, you'll end up spending it. And then in April, you won't have a refund and you won't have savings. That's the worst of both worlds. Step 3. Aim to owe a little bit at tax time. This surprises people, but the ideal tax outcome isn't a refund. It's writing a small check to the IRS in April, like a few $100s. Why? Because it means you kept as much of your money as possible throughout the year without owing enough to trigger penalties. The IRS generally doesn't charge underpayment penalties if you owe less than $1,000 or if you've paid at least 90% of what you owe for the current year or 100% of what you owed last year. So you want to walk that line, keep your money, use your money, let it grow, and settle up a small balance in April. Now let me address the elephant in the room. Some of you have complicated tax situations. You're freelancers. You have side income. You're self-employed. This W-4 advice mostly applies to W-2 employees. If you're self-employed, you're already supposed to be making quarterly estimated tax payments, but the principle is the same. Don't wildly overpay those quarterly estimates just to feel safe. Calculate what you actually owe, add a small buffer, and put the rest to work. And for everyone, regardless of employment type, the best move you can make is to stop celebrating refunds and start celebrating optimized paychecks. Let me give you a quick example to put a bow on this. Meet hypothetical you. You've been getting a $3,600 refund every year. That's $300 a month you're overpaying. You adjust your W-4. Your paycheck goes up by $300. You set up automatic transfers into an index fund. After 1 year, you've got about $3,180 instead of $3,600. That's $180 the refund crowd didn't get. After 5 years, you're sitting on roughly $23,500, while the refund crowd has, well, they spent their refunds on stuff they barely remember. After 10 years, you've got over $61,000. That's the difference between treating your money like a tool and treating it like something you're afraid of. So here's your action plan if you want to actually do something about this. First, check your withholding using the IRS estimator. Right now, not later. It takes 5 minutes. Second, update your W-4 with your employer. Third, automate where that extra money goes. A high-yield savings account is the minimum. An investment account is even better. Fourth, revisit this once a year. Life changes. Raises happen. Tax brackets shift. Make sure your withholding keeps up. Your money should work for you all year long, not just in April. And if this is the first time someone's explained tax refunds this way, there's probably a lot of other money moves you've been leaving on the table, too. The kind of stuff that can genuinely change your financial trajectory over the next few years. If you want to go deeper on that, the channel covers this kind of thing regularly. Subscribing is optional, but it does help the algorithm connect this information with people who need it. Your move.